Men, if you're still trying to appear perfect, justifying every little thing, or chasing after women who only give you scraps, you're mistaken. Desire doesn't come from overthinking, and attraction doesn't come from trying alone. Too many men waste years acting badly, apologizing, and trying to be something they're not, just to please the women they love. Well, it's time to let go of habits that don't work in love or lifestyles that hinder your success and masculinity. So if you're ready to embrace love and life and attract success and women, you've come to the right place. Welcome, or rather, welcome to the world of female psychology. Let's take a look at 15 habits of good guys. But why aren't they bringing you love? 15 habits that turn men off. Habit 15, waiting for the perfect moment. Perfect timing is like a disguised form of procrastination. There's always a reason to wait. But in the psychology of women, successful men never wait. They build momentum. Making decisions is more important than striving for perfection in love and life. For example, if you're single or in a relationship and you wait weeks before asking her out because you want the message or the timing to be perfect, but she starts dating someone else before you, you'll stop working on the relationship issues because the timing doesn't seem right. The solution is to take decisive action instead of waiting for the perfect moment. For example, you know what? I want to meet you this week. Are you free on Thursday? This bad habit is common among young people who haven't experienced any real-life interactions before smartphones have captured all our attention. Issue 14. Textual essays. Long texts may seem impactful, but they often replace real action. Attraction grows through presence, body language, tone of voice, and shared experience, not paragraphs. Feminine psychology. Concise and purposeful communication preserves sexual contrast. Key point, sexual contrast is a prerequisite for sexual desire. Save the deeper conversations for face-to-face interactions, not text messages. For example, if you're single and dating, do you send long messages explaining your thoughts and feelings only to be met with emojis or short phrases? And if you're in a relationship, do you try to resolve disagreements with lengthy text messages instead of having a real face-to-face conversation? The solution, keep your messages short, direct, and concise, including the date, time, and location, and save the deeper conversations for real-life interactions. For example, do you know? Let's talk about this face-to-face. I miss seeing you. 13. Assertiveness instead of teaching. Assertiveness is a structured performance indicator. One person tries to demonstrate value and the other thinks. Female psychology tells us that when you stop trying to demonstrate value and move forward with purpose, women naturally relax and follow you. For example, whether you're single or in a relationship, do you list your accomplishments, career, and values in the hope that your partner will recognize your worth? In a relationship, do you put in a lot of effort to prove that you're a good person rather than taking the initiative and setting the course? The solution lies in leading by actions and presence, not by listing accomplishments. For example, suppose I'm going to a classic car show on Saturday or exchanging messages. Will you join me? This is automatic behavior, acting kindly without thinking. It's a deeply held belief that being kind, polite, and conflict avoiding will lead to a loss of interest. No. At best, it will earn you admiration. At worst, it will cost you love and life. Attraction responds to presence and self-direction, not mere acceptance. In female psychology, when you stop thinking about what she wants or about a happy wife and a happy life, it gives you a powerful incentive to respond. For example, if you're single or on a date, you always ask her where she'd like to eat and what time is convenient for her. On the third date, if your thoughts are appropriate, she tells you that you're nice, but she doesn't feel any attraction. In relationships, do you avoid agreeing to keep the peace with your girlfriend or wife, then secretly resent the person making all the decisions? The solution, consider her wishes, but develop and direct your own. Don't always eat what you crave. For example, I know you love Italian food. Let's try the new Italian restaurant. Modern society has entrenched this bad habit. Number 11, emotional turmoil disguised as vulnerability. Emotional openness is attractive. It's okay to use a woman as a center for processing emotions. In female psychology, vulnerability without substance seems difficult and incoherent. Clarity and strength create security, but without this support, honesty only breeds stress. For example, whether you're single or in a relationship, think about the trauma of your divorce and how your ex-wife cheated on you with her new partner. You feel like she's more of a mother figure than a lover. In a romantic relationship, do you vent to your partner about all your work frustrations every night and wonder why you're not popular? The solution: share your feelings responsibly and in a balanced way. Boost your self-confidence and don't put too much pressure on yourself. For example, say, you know what? Today's work was frustrating, but I'll get it done. You might want to watch this video later. It will teach you where to set your boundaries. The 10th point is overdisclosure. Overdisclosure is a disguised lack of confidence. You justify your choices, lower your boundaries, and convince yourself to join the circle, hoping for approval. Female psychology doesn't explain the instability of self-confidence, but it does offer some advice. If a woman constantly defends her decisions in love or life, even if they're unjustified, she won't feel confident. For example, whether single or in a relationship, after proposing a date, let's say you send 3 consecutive messages explaining why the place is good, affordable, convenient, or something else without receiving a reply. In a relationship, every time you want to spend a nice night with your partner, you justify your reasons as if you're apologizing. The solution is to confidently state your intentions and stop. Change your preferences. For example, you know what? I'm going out with my friends. Don't forget to miss me. 9th, try approaching women who don't seem very interested. Desire should be mutual, not just a passing exercise. When she's unsure of you, no amount of effort will make her desirable. The female psyche is trained to feel happy without much effort. Men who stop being mysterious give women more energy, especially if they crave understanding and connection. For example, if you're single or on a date, do you keep checking her free time to see when she's available? She's definitely not with you. Does she start intimacy by convincing herself she's been under a lot of stress lately, even if it's been months or years? The solution is to direct your energy toward what's mutually beneficial. For example, the timing doesn't seem right. If that changes, call. 8th, apologize for your standards. Standards aren't insults, they're standards. When you apologize for wanting consistency, attractiveness, or effort, you're showing that your needs are negotiable. Female psychology suggests that a man who values his standards will earn respect. A man who apologizes to women is putting himself in a difficult position. For example, if you're single or in a relationship, say something like, "I'm sorry, I think I was feeling a bit insecure," when you ask him to stop wanting you for a few days. If you're in a relationship, does he apologize for wanting regular sex or physical intimacy? Does he consider your basic needs selfish? The solution: respect your needs and communicate them to him without apologizing. For example, let's say you know that consistency is important to me. How can I help you with that? 7th, try to be selective. When you put yourself in the role of the evaluator, you prioritize yourself. Psychology suggests that men choose first, not out of selfishness, but out of acceptance. Shift from the question, "Do I like her?" to the question, "Do I like this flexibility?" For example, if you're single or in a relationship, are you preparing yourself in the hope that she'll like you? If so, you'll feel successful. In a relationship, do you constantly scrutinize how hard you're trying to please her without ever asking if she's happy? The solution is to scrutinize. Instead of seeking her approval, use your own judgment. For example, say something like, "I've enjoyed getting to know you both. You seem like a great couple so far." Shyness. The following habit keeps men in the friend zone. 6th, the flow of desire as desire. Finally, desire is a masculine trait, but it is not desire itself. When attraction flows as urgency, affirmation, or constant presence, it loses its power. In female psychology, repressed desire creates sexual tension. For example, if you are single or in a relationship, do you text your partner twice after every interaction or encounter, praising him and seeking reassurance? In a relationship, do you still need constant confirmation that you find him attractive? The solution is to express desire without urgency or affirmation. For example, send her a text like, "I had so much fun last night," then stop texting her. More importantly, it's okay to tell her you enjoyed your time with her. 5th, consider conflicting signals a sign of hope. Confusion often contains information. Conflicting signals frequently indicate low self-esteem or an internal conflict you can't resolve. Female psychology and men with self-respect don't misinterpret things. They respond to the confidence of the woman around them and avoid ambiguity. For example, if you're single or on a date, do you listen when she says she's unsure of what she wants? hold back. If you're in a relationship and you're emotionally detached, do you continue to invest more in the situation instead of addressing it directly? Ultimately, you're teaching her how to treat you based on what you allow or reward her for. The solution is to adjust your approach. Step out of her way and follow her. Don't rush things. For example, tell her the timing isn't right or send her a message. If the situation changes, don't hesitate to talk to her. Fourth, don't let your self-esteem depend on women's approval. When your self-esteem rises and falls based on other people's reactions, you're not a leader, you're just a recipient. Women understand this immediately. A feminine psyche built from within fosters resilience. And resilience, in turn, cultivates attractiveness. For example, if you're single or in a relationship, does a text message ruin your mood for the entire day? And if you're in a relationship, does a bad day turn into an identity crisis? The solution lies in building your self-confidence from within. Don't let her reaction dictate your feelings. Remind yourself that her feelings don't define your worth. Another habit that undermines many men in today's prevailing notion of masculinity is a toxic culture. Third, the need to ask permission to be a man. Modern romantic relationships have left many men confused, leading them to believe that masculinity is dangerous or repulsive. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. A woman's psyche, inclinations, desires, and drive don't need permission, but rather respect. Keep them pure and free from any toxicity. The key to managing aggression lies in potential protection. For example, whether you're single or in a relationship, do you hesitate to flirt or show interest for fear of appearing aggressive or threatening? Do you avoid taking the lead in the relationship sexually and emotionally and wait for her cues? The solution: express your desires and inclinations without waiting for permission. For example, if there's mutual attraction, say, "I like you." Go for it. If you're unsure if she's attracted to you, say, "I'm interested in you and want to get to know you better." This is another habit that puts good guys in awkward situations. Second, ignore your intuition. Your body often knows before your mind does. When you sense something is off and ignore it to stay calm, attraction fades. Feminine psychology, which emphasizes trusting intuition, increases your awareness and prevents resentment toward women or other toxic environments. For example, whether you're single or in a relationship, if you sense something is off about someone's behavior, do you convince yourself that they're not acting that way because they're attractive or available? In a romantic relationship, do you feel growing resentment but avoid confrontation to prevent conflict? The solution: trust your intuition and pay attention to warning signs. This creates resentment. If you don't like something, give yourself permission to let it go. Now, before I reveal another bad habit that's ruining men these days, if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. First, pretend you're someone you don't like. This costs men more. Displaying excessive confidence, tenderness, dominance, or unrealistic flirting creates internal conflict. Women, too, experience inconsistent behavior. In the female psyche, a woman isn't drawn to perfection, but to a truly consistent man. The goal isn't to impress others, but to be authentic. Ultimately, when you accept yourself, you give others permission to do the same. For example, whether you're single or in a relationship, do you see yourself as someone you love rather than who you truly are? This can lead to feelings of disconnection. In a relationship, do you suppress aspects of your personality to maintain a sense of calm, leaving you feeling unseen and unappreciated? The solution begins with learning to love and accept yourself. Believe me, being honest with yourself will attract the right woman who will love and desire the real you. Here's an extra tip: a bad habit: making excuses instead of accepting your choices. Blaming others, women, your boss, your parents, your circumstances. Anger and blame stem from fear. Fear of being hurt, of inadequacy, of losing self-confidence. Female psychology: fear and weakness won't bring you the love or life you desire. The solution: ask yourself how you contributed to the situation and what you can do differently next time and now. The key point: taking responsibility for your choices is the fastest path to true power. For example, tell yourself, "I can't control what others do, but I can control what I do and what I choose to learn from it." So, which of these bad habits are you ready to break? Share your thoughts in the comments. Gentlemen, today marks the beginning of a new life. If you've finished apologizing and showing your true selves and are ready to embrace a masculine presence that inspires admiration and respect, I'm opening membership to a select group of men committed to breaking bad habits and elevating themselves. When you take responsibility for breaking these habits, you will be able to achieve success in all aspects of your life. I believe in you. Best regards. God bless you. Bless.